Audio Jungle. 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 Audio Jungle.
The power of film and storytelling can't be underestimated to create change. But the challenge is big.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Increasingly, we are putting the environment higher up the agenda. And that's reflected in some of the incredible films that we are here to celebrate this evening.
I fundamentally believe that film has a hugely important role to play in helping people understand and engage and be inspired to act about the huge environmental challenges that are facing our planet.
These pioneers already have the answers that we need.
We're focusing on the changing of the society for helping the current society to the future.
When we started the Global Sustainability Film Awards, the idea was not just to do corporate social responsibility outside of the company, but also to change things within.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
No, you just give me that. Oh, I thought you were going to play the 2 minutes or something. Okay. Welcome, everybody. to the second day of the 9th GSFA TV and Difficult Dialogues annual event. And like yesterday, today we have some very exciting film categories of which the winners will be announced, and stimulating difficult dialogues on changing the mindset. And second day of the 9th GSFA TV and Difficult Dialogues. I'm echoing to myself. Yeah, can I restart? Because it's coming back to me, the sound, I can't. Welcome everybody to the second day of the GSFA TVE and Difficult Dialogues annual event. Like yesterday, today we have a long line of very exciting film categories and their announcement of their winners, and a stimulating difficult dialogues on changing the mindset. Without much ado, I will now introduce the President of the Advisory Board, GSFA 2020, Andrew Wilson. Over to you, Andrew.
Hello. I've been involved with the TVE Awards event for a couple of years now. This event really showcases the power of film to captivate and inspire people. And this year, in the Documentary Impact Award category, I shortlisted 3 films that provide effective examples of this. Listed alphabetically, they are, firstly, Blue Goes Green, Net Zero Police Station. This film shows just what can be achieved today by any city, any local authority, in tackling climate change head-on. It's an inspirational story. Next, Setting the Bar, a craft chocolate origin story. The basic theme in this well-paced film is inspiring in its own right, and what comes through is that this is an ethical initiative that makes good business sense and can help save the rainforest. Finally, Young Lives on the Line #climate crisis. A group of young people around the world have put a case to the UN that countries have failed in their duty to protect the rights of the child. This short film follows 4 of them, and from their different backgrounds, it brings out 4 quite different perspectives on the impact of global warming and climate change.
Thank you, Andrew. And now, tighten your seatbelts. Let's take you through the shortlist of today's first film category, which is Doing Business Differently. The winner will be a film of 15 minutes that best explains how a company has changed their core business to become more sustainable. Now watch some of the short clips.
TerraCycle is on a mission to eliminate the idea of waste. So across 21 countries, we work with amazing organizations to help collect and recycle what otherwise wouldn't be recyclable, from beauty waste to dirty diapers and many things in between. So at Loop, what we're doing is working with the world's most important consumer product companies to create reusable versions of their products. And when you're done with this, instead of having to clean it or refill it yourself, you simply throw it into a Loop reuse bin that gets picked up from you, or you drop it off at a store, and from there we do everything. We clean out the package professionally, we then send it back to P&G, who refills it, and it goes right back on the shelf to go to the next person to enjoy a reusable experience.
With Loop, you order something, it comes to you, every single thing that comes in the bag, you put back in the Loop tote and they take care of it. They send it to you, they will take it back. It's glorious.
People are really craving solutions. They want to help save the world as much as they can, but they also want to continue doing things the way they are. They want to buy the products they want. They want to be able to, at the end, throw them away. And so the big lesson for me has been, people really want to change, but we have to meet them where they are, but allow them to act much more reusable and much more sustainable behind the scenes. What gets me out of bed every morning is that we have the amazing opportunity to come up with these ideas and then work with the world's most important companies to implement them at real scale and have a real chance to shift the world in the right direction.
We look at the whole value chain of the business, not just their own operations, but also the product use and end of life, and also the supply chain of the business. And in recent Earth Dividends, we've picked up issues that have emerged from the supply chain, perhaps where a company doesn't have as much transparency and overview of employee working conditions in their supply chain, perhaps where they have an over-reliance on plastics or other materials where we can potentially work in product redesign to make them less dependent on those materials. They can look at the Earth dividend output knowing that the indicators are based on current best practice of sustainability in those different areas and feel confident that they're actually doing meaningful things. Seeing the riots in France over an attempt to put tax on fuel, I mean, the transition to a low carbon economy also has to be a just transition. So we need to think about the societal and economic impact of these issues as well, not just the environmental impact of them. You will never deliver genuine sustainable development unless you understand the total impact of everything you're doing. It's not good enough just to target positive impact in one or two areas. You have to understand the total footprint of the business.
If you ask millennials, what is the purpose of business? 47% said some version of the purpose of business is to improve society and protect the environment. This is a fundamental sea change in the way an entire generation thinks about business. It's going to mean if you want to attract the top talent and retain them, if you want to win over millennial customers and attract the $30 trillion of capital that's currently being given to millennials by the baby boomer generation, you're going to have a narrative around how your products are sustainable and healthy.
Sustainability is now the only business plan.
I think that in the future, when we look back, there will be two types of companies. Companies that got it and companies that didn't get it. I know which segment I'd like to belong to.
The only viable future is one in which business innovates to demand less of our world. In that future, the wild will recover. We can restore the balance of nature, fix the relationship between our planet and our business, and change the way we live on our planet for the better, forever.
It was a wonderful experience being a part of this festival as a jury, and right from the start, from the time that we met on the Zoom call where we met all the other judges, to the process of watching all the films and looking at the filmmakers' profiles and their motivation behind it. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole process, and in fact what was amazing was like so many different subjects ranging from something so immediate like the COVID-19 or plastic, methane emissions, climate change, so many different subjects, treated so differently, solutions that have been given, stories that have been covered. And the ones that really stood out for me were like these two films, The Rewilding of the Honeybees and The Zero Waste Restaurant. So I wish all the filmmakers all the best.
Thanks for that, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I thank the jury members who spoke. And guess what? We had told you yesterday, we have 40 fantastic youth ambassadors from across the world who've been messaging us about their commitment to global sustainability. Now, here's one ambassador speaking about his commitment. Please watch.
I'm Julio Matute, and with my brothers Kike and Paolo, we co-founded Select Chocolates. What we have is a business model that supports the environment and everyone involved in making a chocolate bar. Nowadays, most farmers involved in the cocoa industry sell each grain for less than $1 to a middleman that manages the logistics of shipping them to the global north. Eventually, it gets transformed into chocolate and its value increases exponentially. This generates a great inequality between the salary for the farmer and the value added for the final product. We intend to bridge this gap by producing the chocolate in the same country that the cocoa is farmed. Since we're in Guatemala, we can cut out the middleman and the transformation country completely. The distance reduction between our chocolate workshop and the farms is negligible when compared to the one managed by a traditional chocolate business model. We call this model the good cocoa, and its intention is to make an economic model that helps everyone have a better life. From the communities that are coming together to sow and harvest the cocoa, the families that have devoted entire generations to the perfect cocoa grain, and the reintroduction of cocoa as an engine to restore national forests and recover the jungles that protect our biodiversity, reducing the impact that incoming climate changes will have on our country. So far, this model has helped recover the forest in Sierra de las Minas. It has also helped sustain forest in private farms, and we continue to promote it with different farmers and collective groups in order to magnify its effects.
Well, now it's time for the difficult dialogues, and we have a very interesting panel discussing changing the mindset. The panelists include Andrew Wilson, who's a change agent with expertise in sustainability and business purposes, and Andrew Dunnett, the director of Vodafone Foundation, previously a ministerial advisor to the Sustainable Development Unit at the UK Department of Trade and Industry. Tony Juniper, a campaigner, writer, sustainability advisor, and environmentalist, and chair of the Natural England, which works for the conservation and restoration of natural environment in England. And Solitaire Townsend, a passionate changemaker, co-founder of Futura, who advises governments, charities, and brands on imagining a better future and making it happen. So now, sit back and enjoy this invigorating conversation.
Well, hello everyone. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this TVE Difficult Dialogue session, which is part of the 2020 Global Sustainability Film Awards. I'm sure many of you will be aware of the two organisations behind the initiative, but for those that are not, let me just say a few words about each. TVE, Television for the Environment, was founded in 1984 with the mission to use the power of storytelling to drive real-world change for a more sustainable future. TVE works with filmmakers and partners globally to run media projects, making films that promote effective, evidence-based storytelling about environmental issues. And TVE has run the Global Sustainability Film Awards for the past 9 years. For this year, we are very excited about the collaboration with Difficult Dialogues. Difficult Dialogues is an annual 3-day forum based on themes of contemporary relevance. It organises intensive serial discussions that bring together a huge range of diverse stakeholders, including academics, young talents, celebrities, activists, politicians, leaders from the media, business and international organisations. Difficult Dialogues was founded by philanthropist Mrs. Serena Narula in 2016. And as I say, we're delighted that we've been able to build this collaboration. I think there's a natural partnership between TVE and Difficult Dialogues around the Global Sustainability Film Awards. So with that introduction, let's focus on today's theme, which is the need to change management mindsets. Management mindsets, the need to change mindsets, not just simply managers, everybody's mindset. I think for me, the inspiration behind that is that famous quote that is often attributed to Albert Einstein, the sense that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. We need a new way of thinking. We need a new mindset to create innovative solutions to the challenges facing the world today. More than that, we need action. It's not just about the way people think, it's about the way people act. And we need action at every level of society, institutionally, businesses, communities, and individuals, if this new mindset is going to alter both attitudes and behaviour. So I'm delighted to say that we've got 3 great speakers, all of whom are far better qualified than I am to speak to you today about these issues. I'm going to spend a minute more just introducing them to you briefly now before I hand it over to them to start our discussion. First of all, we'll hear from Tony Juniper, CBE. Tony is a campaigner, a writer, a sustainability advisor, and well-known environmentalist. He's been campaigning for more than 30 years, working for change towards a more sustainable society at the local, national, and international level. Today, he is chair of Natural England, which is a statutory body in the UK that works for the conservation and restoration of the natural environment in England. With his extensive experience, I've suggested that Tony might want to explore the kind of biggest challenge we face, which is shifting the imperative for environmental change, this recognized need for change, into real action. Our second speaker is Solidaire Townsend. Solidaire is the co-founder of Futera, which is described, I think, in a beautiful way. It's both a logical sustainability consultancy and a magical creative agency. Again, Solidaire has been a passionate change maker for over 30 years. Through her work, she advises governments, charities, businesses and brands, including organizations like Google, IKEA, and the United Nations, helping them to think about a better future and, more importantly, helping them to make it happen. Again, you should expect Solidaire to provide a wide-ranging overview of the issues, but I've asked her to speak a little bit about what action individuals or small groups can take to inspire others. And then our third speaker is Andrew Dunnett, who is director of the Vodafone Foundation, a post he has held for more than 10 years. During his time at Vodafone, Andrew has transformed the foundation's $1 billion program from an historic approach, which has been centered on grant making, to one that now combines giving with technology. And so doing, the foundation has been able to co-create a number of hugely innovative, award-winning sustainable programs. And among other topics, I've asked Andrew to touch on the role of business in acting as a catalyst for change. So we'll hear from each of the speakers for around 10 minutes each, after which I'll open it up to the audience for any questions or comments that you might like to share. So during the discussion, feel free to type in your comments and questions into the comment box, and we will pick them up at the end. But with that, I'm very pleased to hand it over to Tony to begin our conversation. Tony, please carry on.
Thank you very much indeed. I think it's fair to say that right action generally follows right thinking, and the thinking that we have at the moment across societies pretty much worldwide is leading us towards what can only be described as an environmental catastrophe. We see a lot of headlines devoted to the climate issue, the heating of the atmosphere, but also in parallel, and it's getting more attention, thankfully, these days, is the degradation of ecosystems and the mass extinction of animals.
That was an exciting discussion, and I hope all of you enjoyed it. And now we've reached that stage where we will announce the winner of Doing Business Differently Award. And for that, let me invite Pradeep Krishan from Delhi. Pradeep is a filmmaker who taught himself botany and became an ecological gardener. Here is it to Pradeep.
Harpic is inspired by its mission to ensure that every person has access to clean and hygienic toilets. The power of the brand, the power of the product is that it can deliver even cleaner toilets and save 80% of the water while doing that. This is why Harpic exists, and this is what mobilizes us to partner on Mission Pani. We can make a difference, we can get cleaner and use far less water, and therefore make an impact on how much water India uses.
Audio Jungle.
Almost half of our planet's forests have been felled for their timber and to make space for ourselves and our livestock. And at sea, our extensive overfishing is leading to the collapse of key fish stocks.
The cod stocks crashed back home in Newfoundland, where I was from.
Congratulations, winner. And we have the winner for you over here with us.
Thank you very much for the award. Welcome to my History Story Award ceremony. I will be telling you a story about Bonfire Day, and there's also a little riddle, but actually it's called Bonfire Night, and I'll tell you a little riddle also. Remember the 5th of November. And also I'll tell you the story of Guy Fawkes, but his actual name is called Google Fox. So, once upon a time there was a man called Guy Fawkes. He lived in a country called the Isabellas, and also there was a very good and kind king, but there was one bad thing about him.
Congratulations once again. And now we'll move on to the next category of the award, which is the AI category. And after seeing the clip, we will introduce you to Grace Biang, who's going to give the award. She's an entrepreneur and chairwoman of BMS Corporate Member Global Healthcare. Watch the clip first.
Every day, we are working with local communities around the world to find solutions to end plastic waste in our environment. But what do you do when the world stops? We are working from home, continuing our efforts to innovate and invest in technologies, recycling and managing waste better.
Started dreaming about bees. Dreams came to me, and I had so many dreams about bees. And that was the beginning of my life with bees.
Oh. The amazing thing is that there is oneness in multitude. We have to look through the multitude to fully see the oneness.
Let us turn all our battlegrounds in the world into playgrounds. Let us give every young boy and girl the courage to believe in their dreams and the power to write their own destiny. And finally, let us leave behind a more peaceful, more beautiful, more sustainable, and a more joyous world for all our children. Thank you.
Started dreaming about bees. Dreams came to me, and I had so many dreams about bees. And that was the beginning of my life with bees.
Oh. The amazing thing is that there is oneness in multitude. We have to look through the multitude to fully
see the oneness.
Congratulations, winner. And now meet the winner for the AI award.
I am delighted to receive the AI category award for the 2020 TVE GSFA awards. It's wonderful to see that our film has been appreciated, and it gives us an impetus and a momentum to make more films like this in the future. I think it's a very important issue to be highlighted, and it's wonderful to see that such kind of work is appreciated. We hope to see and make more films of this kind in the future, and thank you for your support.
Hope you enjoyed all that. And now, before we close the program, here's another enthusiastic youth ambassador. See what she has to say.
Moving from Guatemala to Europe, the last thing I expected to see was any type of plastic pollution. The history, the culture, the greenery, recycling bins in every corner. Waste management is surely not a problem here, right? The truth is, plastic pollution is a global problem. You see, plastics are made from fossil fuels, that other thing we have a problem with. And plastic is not just one thing. There's different types of plastic, and depending what they will be used for, they have different additives. This is what makes most of them unrecyclable. But plastic is convenient, isn't it? It's cheap, durable, indestructible. Those are the characteristics that made it so attractive over 5 decades ago. And those same characteristics make it so bad today. So while we pressure our governments and manufacturers to take their responsibility seriously, there's a lot we can do as individuals as well. Refusing single-use plastic is one very important step. But I know there are some things that you are just not willing to give up yet. So today I'm gonna share with you my top 5 favorite plastic alternatives. You can actually make this yourself. Remember, individual actions matter. What other alternatives do you use?
Let me take this opportunity to thank all the participants and the audience. And don't forget to tune in again tomorrow with a huge lineup of fantastic film awards like the Innovations Award, the Health and Environment Award, and of course the Difficult Dialogues, which is on the role of innovation in bringing about a sustainable future. We promise it'll be another exciting day. Goodbye.